Basketball fans, welcome back. So there's a conversation that I don't think is being had, and in this video I'm going to address it once and for all. And I'm going to be talking about the Kenya Morans national basketball team. So the Kenya Morans played in February this year, and they played against Tunisia, Angola, and Guinea. So that is the window of the Afrobasket qualifiers that opened. And in the Afrobasket qualifier, they're supposed to play 6 games. And when they seed well, they'll be able to have a chance of playing in the actual Afrobasket. So somebody can ask, oh, Nderitu, what are you getting at? So in the past few months, we have seen the frenzy that is the Nderitu Thunder. So we have seen about 75 to 80% of the national team players congregate on that squad. And also we have seen a couple of players playing for the national team being spotted in the country. At some point, I even saw Coach Liz Mills. I saw her post with a photo with the 2021 Kenya Morans team that went to the Afrobasket in 2021. So it was a very good, feel-good moment. And I must say, it just it gave me flashbacks of what we experienced in 2021. And the reason as to why I'm bringing this up is because the FIBA Afrobasket window, a window opens up February next year, and it's not too far away, because if you don't count December, you'll only see that January is the only time that the Kenya Morans need to be able to prepare. And for some reason, I must say we're going to experience the same thing that we saw earlier this year. We have players who have not played in the have not been able to get the most minutes together in the national team. I know some people can throw the exception and say, the players who played in the RBC Thunder squad, you can still plug them into the national team, which is fine. They've already played together in significant amount of games, but the national teams works differently. And in this video, I'm just going to go ahead and address that once and for all. So we have been seeing the politics that has engulfed the Kenya Morans national team. We're seeing issues with the team selection, issues with the coaching staff, and also issues with their preparations, which I must say they are very abysmal. And this is going to spill over, and it's going to, all these things spill over onto the court, and they make our performance bad than it make the performance from bad to worse. So the question is, with Coach Brad Ibbs being able to coach the Nderitu Thunder, is he going to be elevated to coach the national team? That is the big question that nobody wants to ask. Because even in a video that I made, I said he must be elevated to the national team. He must coach that national team. The best coach who has coached the team that has won the KBF title and went ahead and defended home court to go to the BAL must coach that team. Otherwise, if they put another coach like Coach Cliff, he's a failure. Okay, look at Coach Cliff's resume. This is a man that has flopped when it comes to KPA. He got swept by Coach Brad Ibbs, and Brad Ibbs went ahead and coached that team to the BAL. Has Coach Cliff been able to do that with that KPA squad? Has he been able to do anything? Because in some runs, we have seen Coach Cliff join the coaching staff for KPA when they were playing in the Road to Bal. But was he able to even bring any ideology in that team and let them get successful and make them successful and push them to higher places in the rankings? No. We have seen what Coach Cliff has done. His resume just speaks for itself. It's a legacy of failure. And in this video, this is not a video to bash him, but it's the fact. Coach Cliff, you're not the right man to coach that Kenya Morans national team. I know a lot of people are going to gas you up and say that you're a good coach, you have experience. But what has your experience got you to? Where has your experience, which is the farthest point that your experience has taken you? Okay, you can't claim that silver medal in 2019 in the Afrochan because in 2023 you had the same opportunity to go ahead and win it, but you couldn't do it. You got beat by Morocco. You had to settle for classification games like all these other loser teams. So if you couldn't defend that silver medal, what makes you think that you can even challenge for gold? And in this case, considering the fact that earlier this year, the Kenya Morans team had no direction, no identity, no vision. They went ahead and got beat from pillar to post by Tunisia, Angola. Those games were very lopsided. No other team conceded points the way Kenya did. That game against Guinea won by 6 points. But if you look at it closely, Kenya and Guinea were two teams looking for their first win. Both were coming off back-to-back beatdowns at the hands of Tunisia and Angola. So you can't come out and start saying that, oh, at least we won one game, we need another game to qualify. All this fake positive energy that you have, where will it lead you? Okay, fine. You can say that next year is going to change. But if you look at the point where the Kenya Morans played their last game together, that is February 23rd, 2024. It's almost a year, and you have not seen the Kenya Morans team congregate. You have not seen them even have a meeting or a brief. You have never seen them even hold meetings to discuss their potential run next year. No, they're not going to do that. We're not going to start be proactive. We're going to wait until the last minute so that you can prepare. That is the mentality that the federation has right now. I know a lot of people can say, the federation is not supported by the government, all that stuff. But you mean to tell me that you can't even seek for sponsors outside? I know Rentco came in and sponsored the 2021 Kenya Morans. They made sure that they had everything. Where did they go? They saw the impunity that you have, especially when it comes to team selection. They said, you don't want to be part of that. Okay, I cannot say that in guarantee, but allegedly I can just say, they left because there's no vision in that team and there's a lack of accountability. If people in the federation handpick players who don't even have merit, players don't even have merit, they don't have good statistics, we don't even know what they're using to track statistics. What is the criteria of selection? What is that thing that makes you select this player? That is the question that we ask. And every single year when you ask that question, there's no answer. We just wait for the people whose boarding passes are going to be printed. If you want to know that you're in the Kenya Morans basketball team, you're going to wait until you see if your name has been printed in that boarding pass. If it's not in that boarding pass, you're not going to be there. Now, February 21st, 2025 is not too far. What will the Kenya Morans do? They will use the same strategy for last year. And in the post-game pressers, they're going to make excuses. They're going to say that there was lack of preparation, an excuse that they have been recycling every single year. They're going to say that there's no team chemistry. Look at how they assemble their teams. We saw in the national team games they saw early this year, some players flew in directly they flew into Tunisia directly. There are players who flew in from Nairobi. There are players who got dropped. There are players who went in. There are players even who got selected, didn't even play a single minute. They wasted their time on that team because the coach is very incompetent and the federation officials just want a free trip there. There is no pride. These people do not love their country. They do not respect the flag. And the thing that even amazes me, even with what we do here on this channel and on this platform, is to educate the masses and inform the masses and tell them what is really going on. Because you can say that these videos are coming off as hateful, but the people who actually hate the country are those that go wear the flag of the country and go and embarrass us. They cry. Some players even go ahead and cry to be put on that team and say that, we want to be on that team because we've earned it. And if you look at it, they say, in KBF, this is my stats this season. Look at me, put me there. But when you look closely, majority of the players who get selected and play heavy minutes, their game does not even translate to wins. Anywhere they've played. I know some players have improved through the years. There are those players who have been improving. But there are others, my God. Griffin should not even be in that squad. I'm happy that Griffin was not even in the team, in the Nairobi City Team, because he was virtually not going to have even a place where he's virtually an unplayable player. I am so happy that I'm happy that the Thunder were able to raise the standard for Kenyan basketball and raise our flag very high, because their success is going to dictate what is going to happen in that national team. There is no way you're going to allow somebody who has qualified to go play for BAL to go and put up a stinker for the national team. It's not going to happen, because at some point they can even say we are not going to play. And this is that time of the year, as per recording this is that time of the year where they release their provisional list. The KBF, with their incompetence, release a list of provisional players who are going to play for that squad. They have not called these players. They have not asked them if you want to come play for the national team. They say nothing. Then they come back to you. Then they say, you know what? We need to. They hurriedly put players. They call the players that are in on their gag. You know, they just hurriedly put players. They mix up players there. The others who they promise, but they drop them last minute. You know, we know how it happens. You know, after they do that, they send that team to wherever they're going to play. It's going to be decided the venue. Now, when they go ahead and put up another stinker there, they go ahead with their failure coach. They actually bring in Coach Cliff, who's a failure. I say this man is a failure because he has not won anything outside that silver medal of the Afro-Chan in 2019. Even the Afro-Chan in 2023, he won nothing. So, him coaching the national team is an abomination. I believe Brad Eves, the Thunder, should say, we are not sending any of our players to play for that national team. They should do that. Because honestly, this is, if they do not prepare early, what is the point? If they don't even start preparations in the first week of January, or let's say, for example, they brief and say, you know what, they come out and say, we have made a mistake. We are supposed to be controlling the national team. We're supposed to be putting this whole thing together, but you have flopped. Look at the team manager for the national team. Even I came out and even made a post and said, this is somebody who has no power when it comes to the national team selection. A team manager who doesn't even know how to run a national team. Honestly, the team manager should be scheduling meetings with the top players in the league, asking them, hey, look, we're going to have a meeting and you're putting down strategies so that you can be able to go ahead and compete. And I'm looking at this type of things that we need to do. Where is the coach for the national team? Busy coaching KPA. Fine. Go get another coach. Go get another team manager. Go get people who actually know how to do their jobs. Because I believe there are out of 50 million Kenyans, you can't miss quality people who can become team managers. You know, in this basketball world, there are people who are quality team managers. Why not give them an opportunity? Why do you handpick people who are very incompetent? And you pick incompetence, then you go ahead and have a very poor performance. Then you start crying at me, saying that I am making negative videos. Who is to blame? Me or your incompetence? Ask yourself this question, because I know you KBF Federation officials are looking at these videos. Yes, you're watching these videos. Yes, I know that. Because you wouldn't be that insecure to the point where you're stopping me from going to a venue because you claim my videos are negative. Is this negative? This is the reality. You are very incompetent, Kenya Basketball Federation. You take 100% of the blame. You have not convened this team early enough to prepare. You had a whole 9 to 11 months to think about what you're going to do with the national team. But what happens? Your books close when the final, you know, at the end of regulation for that Kenya versus Guinea game. That happened over 11 months ago. Yeah, you're not going to say anything. You know, it ended. We wait for next year. Now, you thought that 2025 is not going to come. 2025 is here. It's just a few weeks. It's just 2 weeks away. 2025 is 2 weeks away. What will the excuse now be? What I'm waiting to hear the excuses. You had all the time. You can't say you don't have resources. You can't say that. The Nyayo is available. Kasarani is not available because of what the Thunder did. You can go ask for money from the cabinet secretary to start preparations. But you didn't. You're going to wait for last minute. Then you start crying. Oh, lack of preparation, team chemistry. You plug in players who have not even played together. There are players who play for other teams. You're going to pick them at random. Hey, look, hurriedly assemble a squad. Tunisia have been working hard to make sure that they are where they are. They're going to beat us. You actually think you're going to beat Angola again? It's not going to happen. These are things that are not going to happen. You actually think in your mind, in your wildest dreams, whatever happened in 2021 is going to happen again. Let me let that airplane pass. I mean, this is an air route. So, the Kenya Morans and Kenya Basketball Federation, do you actually think you're going to beat the Angola team right now? Do you think you even have what it takes to beat them? Right now? Right now, do you think? Because it's not happening. They beat you by 30 points. Tunisia did the same thing. The only team that you had a chance of winning is Guinea. And even I predicted it, even prior to the tournament, I even said, the only team that we can beat is Guinea alone. You can't say that you're going to beat that team. Even if Tailongwe comes back, Kogechi comes, you bring all these other players in there. It's going to be the same thing. As long as Coach Cliff is going to coach that team, it's useless. The only way the national team, the Kenya Morans, can save themselves is they take the players who played in that championship game and they put the new acquisitions that the Thunder had, and they have Coach Brad Ibs coach that team. That is the only way we'll qualify for the Afrobasket. Otherwise, if you go ahead and take Coach Cliff and you give him players, it's going to be the same thing as last year. To save yourself, my free advice to you, actually, this is the best advice I can ever give you, Kenya Basketball Federation. Please, go talk to Brad Ibs. Talk to the Thunder management. Say, hey, look, you have been playing together as a team. We know the BAL, the Nile Conference, is going to open up at May. So please, coach this team right now for the national team and give it your best and use the same strategy because it's working. Have him coach the team. Don't let any other player come in. Just use the squad that is in the Thunder. That's it. Okay, excluding the new acquisitions. Just use the Kenyan squad in the Thunder. That's it. That's all that is needed. If you do that, you're going to compete and you're going to even qualify. But if you go ahead and bring Coach Cliff and you bring this stupid team manager, you bring them there, then you tell them, I want this team to qualify. Nothing's going to happen. So that's my take for today. I mean, I'm very irate, especially when I talk about this, because I've been following this team for the longest time. And one thing that people forget and they fail to understand, the national team is the signature team for our country. The reason as to why I keep talking about the national team more than even the clubs is because the national team is the signature team for the country. So when a national team performs very well, it shows FIBA and it shows the rest of the world that the federation that governs the country has the ability to produce this type of players, has the ability to produce this type of quality. And what in turn that does is it enables other people to come and play in your own league. That is the reason as to why you're seeing a lot of people want to play in Europe. A lot of people want to play in the Americas. A lot of people want to play in Australia, all those places, China, because of what the quality of basketball that comes from the FIBA rankings. You can see what America does. You can see what Spain does, France, the countries that rank higher because of their national teams. And you can even see what South Sudan were able to do. South Sudan right now are number one in the country. They went and beat all other countries in Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, the powerhouse countries, because North African teams run African basketball. And with that being the case, and South Sudan going ahead and dominating like that way they have dominated, it tells you that anything is possible with the right strategy. Lowell Deng came out with the right strategy, brought in the right players, got them to do the Olympics, something that Kenya is yet to see. something that not every single other nation in Africa can enjoy. And it's something that it helps the country grow, and it helps the basketball nation grow in the country. So the national team is a signature team for the country. That's what I'm trying to say. And with the good performance, you rank higher. A lot of foreigners want to come and play for your league. A lot of people want to come and watch your league because it's good, because you're a representative of the Kenya Basketball Federation. Now, in our case, the national team, people who are handpicked, who don't even understand how to compete in continental basketball, then they go ahead and embarrass us. Then they start complaining that we are getting at them, and they forget that you're not representing yourself. You're representing the country. That's why there's Kenya written on the jersey. It's Kenya. If it was written any other team, will be bashing the other team. But it's written your Kenya, the whole nation is you're representing the whole nation. So if you go ahead and embarrass us and you're representing the country and you start complaining that a lot of people are getting into you, yeah, get out of the team. Leave it to somebody else who can do it. Don't start crying here and saying that, you don't stop coming at us, nini nini. Yeah? Stop crying. Go ahead and play. If you're representing the country, play your heart out. Have grit. Show passion. Show desire. Show pride for your country. Die for a loose ball. Take that rebound like your life depends on it. That grit, go for that transition. Go hard on defense. Those are the things that you need to have when you play for the national team. Desire, passion, have the willingness to do whatever it takes to win. And right now, in the national team, going by what we saw earlier this year, and even last year, there's no desire, there's no passion, because the coach is not imparting those things in the team. Because a lot of people don't even know where they stand. They don't understand the philosophy. So if the team is poor, that means that the coach's philosophy is also poor. And the coach has no ability to galvanize those players and coach these players to have winning mentalities, to go ahead and do whatever it takes to win. Coach Cliff doesn't got it. He don't got it, man. He doesn't have it. He's never had it for years now. This is a man that lost the plot completely every single year. And the people who are challenging me, even in the comment section in this video, I urge you to go watch those videos for the Kenya Morans games and you tell me what you see. Because majority of the people who complain and say that, oh, there's so much negativity coming from Nderitu, he doesn't like our team, or, this is what this guy, he doesn't like us. I urge you, to go watch those games. I want you to take 2 hours. Don't watch the highlights. Sit back, watch 2 hours of Kenya Morans basketball, and you will see what I say. Because everything that I say is fact check. It can check. It's factual. I get all the statistics from the FIBA website. I get all the news from FIBA, and also we do research here on this channel, and we give analysis based on objective stats. You can't dispute stats and film. Those are things that you can't do, and you can't challenge that. So those are the things I come out and say. When I say those things, people think that it's negativity. It's not. It's facts. The team is not good. The team, it's YouTube. I don't want to say some other words. So the team is not good. It's not good at all. And the people who are running the team currently are failing. The only way they can save this team is the Kenya Basketball Federation sit with the Thunder management and Twende management and say, you know what? The FIBA Afrobasket window is opening in February, and we want you to take over the national team. Coach Bradibs, coach this team. Team manager OJ, coach this. You'll be the team manager for this team. We're not even assembling other players. Other players on other teams, stay out of this. Or players from KPA, Equity, Ulinzi, don't cry. You want to be on the national team. Keep quiet. You have not achieved anything. Wait for the Thunder to go ahead and do it. So the KBF, when they reach out to the Thunder, give the keys to OJ and Brad Gibbs and his coaching staff, and excluding even the players that were brought in, just use the players that you had, the Thunder have. Yeah, go with that strategy. You will see what will happen. Brad Davis knows what this team needs. He has been coaching this team for the whole of last year and halfway last year and most of this year. So he understands the players and he understands the strength and weaknesses of that team. And if you give this man the assignment, go ahead and scout Tunisia, scout how can we beat Angola? How can we beat Guinea? How can we be able to win 2 games? Still a game from either Angola or Tunisia, and also beat Guinea as well, so that you can have a record of 3-1. Yeah, in 6 games. No, not even 3-1, but we have a 3-3, or even 4-2 record if it's possible. But any single team that can be beaten in any situation. So if you do that, if they're able to do that, that will enable Kenya to be able to qualify. But if you go ahead and use this stupid preparations, you are getting players, all this, you're going to flop again, and it's going to be much more embarrassing than what we saw. So that's my take on this, and this is a conversation I don't think people are willing to have, but in this channel, of course, you're going to talk about it. I mean, I'm very passionate, especially when I talk about this. I know I've said a lot of things, and yeah, man, Merry Christmas, have a happy new year, have a prosperous 2025, all the goals and dreams that you have set to achieve in 2025, may the good Lord keep you and allow you to go ahead and, challenge for those dreams and goals. With that one, I'm out. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.